Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Ghostbake SuperCoach here with our round 13 preview and trade plans. Usually, we aren't able to do this early because we are out at footy training and whatnot, but night off tonight, so thought we would get the vid out just as the Thursday game starts tonight between the Crows and the Cats. So we've been able to see how the teams have dropped, which will obviously help with this video, and I'm not going to have to sit there and do last minute trade-ins and trade-outs. But as usual, the team drop has created some problems and some carnage for us. So yeah, we'll go through that and talk about who we've got and who we're bringing in and looking to bring in. Now plans might pivot a little bit. We've just got to see more so of who we're trading out than who we're trading in, but we will have a look at that and see how things are going to shape and what we want to do, because there's a few things that we need to consider now. But let's just start going through the team. So we've got, like I said, that's from last week, 1862. Happy with that. We need to back it up this week in the buys, and we're keen to do that. So Jack Sinclair, he's been solid pretty much all year. He had a little patch where he was down, but got the Swans this week, so not sure how that's going to go. If Jordan goes to him, probably I doubt it, but that's still a possibility. But I think he'll be fine. He is projected to get a massive score, so like we said, we take projections with a grain of salt. But I think he's fine. Most of the comp have him, so not really any issue there. Archie Roberts, good matchup against the Blues. Been a bit lackluster the last couple of weeks. One thing I didn't highlight was last week he got 4 frees against as well, so that would have dragged down what would have been a guaranteed ton for sure. So just got to, Archie the pig needs to go back to his pig ways and not give so many free kicks away, and hopefully we see a nice ton this week against the Blues. I've got a feeling he'll bounce back and get the job done for us. He's one that pretty much a few people that I know have jumped on, and he's quite a popular pick, and mainly for this run. So we want to make sure we're taking advantage of it. So hopefully he can bounce back this week. Jordan Clark, like I said, he's just there. Not really sure what he'll be able to do. It could be, if he starts crap, we're getting a 70 to 80, and if he actually gets going, hopefully a safe ton. But he's been anything but safe lately, so we need to just see what he does. Got the North Melbourne matchup this week, so shouldn't be too bad, I think, off the halfback. As long as if Constanti's in, maybe he goes to him. So yeah, look, we just temper our expectations, because even when he hasn't been tagged, he's been pretty crap. So yeah, we'll see what he delivers, and that's what we'll cop. But he's a body on the field at the moment. Josh Lindsay dropped, omitted this week, so he was in our trade plans anyway. But yeah, there's another factor that we've got to look into now, which we'll talk about as we go through the team. But yeah, dropped. I just think it's probably the best time to get rid of him. We're looking at this stage to get him up to a Cal Wilkie. Yeah, it's just a bit easier to do that with the value that Wilkie presents at the moment. I think you take his injury-affected game out, he's only sub-tunned 2 times for the year. He's been really consistent, and the 118 last week shows what more than likely he's going to be able to do. He's still got an 80 when he got the Paddy Voss weird tag that worked for the team, but yeah, still an 80 odd for SuperCoach as a floor score is fine if you take that injury-affected game out. So I think Cal Wilkie will be a great upgrade from Lindsay. And yeah, the writing's on the wall now. If you've got cover and whatever, you can hold him, because he's not going to lose cash now that he's not playing. But we want to try and get as many warm bodies on the field as we can to score for us. Edwards held his spot, thank God. Hopefully he can turn it around and not score a shitty 19. I just think it was the matchup. It just didn't go down there much for the Tigers, so he didn't get a good look in. And yeah, we'll see how he goes this week. I think he'll bounce back. Like I said, he's pretty good for a 50 to 60 on most occasions. I think the Saints will get it in there a little bit more, and yeah, he'll have a bit more to do. So The Saints forward line at the moment is not great either. So I think, I think he'll be able to take a few intercept marks, or at least get on the end of a few chains out of D50. Perez also held his spot, which is a bit shocking. Just the one change for the Hawks, so with Gunston out. So that opens things up a bit, as I'm pretty sure Connor Nash didn't make it back into the side. So Bont now becomes a bit more of an attractive option as a VC, so we will definitely have a look at that as well. But yeah, Perez hold his spot. Good, keep making money. Hopefully more than a fucking 30, because that was terrible. But we want these blokes making as much money as possible. So that's great. And yeah, we should have 6 defenders in, which is great. With obviously Whitfield and Ash got the bye this week. Not great, but overall only 3 primos on the bye. So this is one we knew would sort of happen, but it's not too bad. That's why we held off getting Timmy Taranto until after his bye, just so we didn't have a little bit more cover through this bye. Zach Butters, at the moment, looking at him with the VC against the West Coast Eagles, but does he get the Murdoch tag? Or if Hoff goes to him, I'm not worried about that. Hoff's been, I don't think he's been a great tagger, and they sort of didn't really do that with Merritt too much. Murdoch's been tagging the halfbacks. Kane Farrell, I don't think's back, so who's he going to go to? Maybe they do just give him a bit more. They might start him forward and just tell him to push up the ground and follow Butters everywhere, or they might give him some CBAs and just tell him to follow Butters around in the middle of the ground. And maybe you put a Hoff somewhere else instead, or you give some mid-time to some of the other players for the Eagles. But we'll keep an eye on that and see if there's anything that can go there. But yeah, now that we've got the next man Bont as an option, if Nash isn't there to do a job on him, physically he matches up well with Bont, and Bont got an 80 something in the last game against the Hawks. That was also without Tim English, so Tim English is back, which Bont plays a lot better when English is there. Obviously with English's ruck work, we saw what he did to D-Cam in the middle of the ground last week. So I think Bont now becomes a very, very viable VC option, as he usually is. But this matchup now is a lot easier than probably first thought, with English in and no Nash. So yeah, maybe we do look at that. But Butters is just as good as well. So we've got a couple options now, which is good. It's good to have options, but yeah, we'll have to have a think about that. Maxi Holmes, he's playing very shortly. I'm recording this just after 7, so not going to chuck the VC on him. Like I said, I think the Butters Bont thing becomes a bit more viable. If you've got a Baz Smith, I'd definitely be vicing him tonight. I think he'll go nuts. But yeah, we got him last week. Hopefully he can get more than a 91. He's got a good record against the Crows, so hopefully can kickstart our week with a decent score. Nick Dacos obviously got King's birthday, so hopefully there's no carnage where he's like not playing. I doubt it though, with the occasion and the bloke that he is. Does he get some attention? He's had Ed Langdon go to him on King's birthdays before. He's copped a bit of attention from Melbourne, so hopefully not, and he scores well, and they just focus on playing their game as a team. And Dacos can hopefully put up a good score to finish our round at the end of Monday. This bloke, Hugh McCluggage, my fucking God, giving us nothing but 50s and 60s, lost money, and now he's injured again with a calf. This is one that we might need a boot. He wasn't one that I factored, but we did factor in a few injury trades, so here's one I'm going to have to sit down and I did my whole buy planning and whatnot, and trades for the next few weeks. So I'm going to have to sit and have a look at it now with him out, because if he misses 2 to 3, he's got a buy in there as well. It's just not what we want at all. So yeah, someone that we did plan to keep, but we did have injury trades up our sleeve, so he's one I was just going to hold and keep the faith with, but maybe now it is probably the time, especially if he's injured again. I don't see him coming back off another calf and finishing the year strong. So yeah, might have to give him the boot this week instead of Reshko, who we were planning on getting rid of. Dropped to 43. His break even's still low, so you can hold him and give him one more week next week. But But yeah, it's just going to sort of depend on if we can hear some McCluggage news. And we'll be bringing in, regardless of either McCluggage out, Reshko out, but we'll be bringing in Davies Uniacke this week, the LDU UDL. Super keen on him. He's been solid all year. This is his best year by far. Only a couple sub-tons. And he's done so well. He's got an awesome run coming up for the rest of the year. So I know there's a lot of talk about Matty Rowell, but I'm LDU. I'm happy to pay the extra 50k to get him, and I think what he can produce is pretty amazing. I did jump on Rowell last year and rode that massive wave. I got him at about 470k, and he every week just delivered until the final round where he dropped to 60. But yeah, just because he did it last year doesn't mean he'll do it this year. I still think he's solid pick at that value for sure, but I just got a bit more continuity with LDU not being injured all year, and he's been consistent, and the run's way too juicy. So he'll be the one coming in. Anderson, named, so yep, you just take his place in the field. He hopefully scores a bit more than he did last week. Ison, he's on the extended bench at the moment just because the Blues play Sunday night. So yeah, hopefully he holds his spot. I don't think that they're going to change too much. They've been winning. Like, would you really change much? I wouldn't. And then they've got the three blokes on the bye, Callahan, Cumming, and Burton. Keeping all three of those. Callahan's obviously a primo. Cumming has a break even at 12 next week against the Lions, so we'll roll the dice on playing him, and hopefully he can make a bit more cash for us. He's only made about 70k roughly, so yeah, we want a bit more out of him. Burton's just going to sit there and be a turd all year because I don't think he's going to get back into the team. Luckily, he was only 99k because yeah, he's probably not making us any more money. Grundy named on field, better be fucking playing. Yeah, just be a captain and do some shit, please. Like, you know, that's what we brought him in for. So far, he's given us a 90 and a fucking 0. So, big watch on this bloke, and he better deliver. And hopefully, he's solo rucking with only a bit of pinch hitting from maybe a McLean or an Amadi, and not a Peanut Laddams taking ruck time. But yeah, I wouldn't think Laddams would do well against TDK or Marshall, so I think that they're more than happy to sort of let that little bit go and ruck with Grundy as much as they can. He's got a bye coming up too, so I think it's perfect. Gawn on Monday, he's our fullback captaincy option. We could VC Bont and go into Butters if we wanted to, but I think Gawn against DCAM, and Gawn hasn't gone below the ton. I think it's just safer to keep it on him. With a good matchup, and yeah, just ride the wave of Gawn keeping the ton run going heading into round 13. So hopefully he can keep it up all year. And yeah, obviously the solo ruck thing looks like it's going to stick, hopefully. Got a few debuts with Luca Kentfield coming, so that's another forward. So I doubt Heath comes back in anytime soon. Didn't actually check to see if he was in the team before, so I'm assuming he's not. ZZ, just a useless loop at the moment, just going to sit there. He's not going to do anything. Shees will back off his bye against the Dockers. I think I think him and LDU will do fine. Dockers are tough because they get the ball, but they don't tag or anything like that, and big scores can happen against them. So I think that will be a good one for Shees. Track against the Lions. Now, does Dunkley usually goes to Rao? Does he try to go to Petrarca? Probably not, because given Petrarca can go forward. So I think Petrarca will have a big day. I think he'll kick a few goals. It wouldn't surprise me if Gold Coast win with the way they're playing compared to the Lions. I know they just lost to North, but I think off the bye, and Brisbane haven't really responded doing much. I think Track can have a big game. Same thing with this man, Bailey. With McCluggage out, I just want to see him go through the midfield more. I think he showed last week what he can do. If he kicks straight, he actually can do even more. So really hoping he can do what he did last week, get a 115 again would be awesome. And yeah, just give us some, validity in the pick, because he hasn't so far. It's been pretty terrible. But he's gotten better every week. So if he can do that, then I'll take anything over a 115. It'd be fucking awesome. Philippou, just there till the buys, which we need to get rid of him. We've got way more concerns in the team than him at the moment, so he can just sit there. He's just going to score, see how he goes. Probably not expecting him to shoot the lights out this week against the Swans, but 80% Tog, I think you'll get a 50 minimum, which isn't great, but if he can get around the 70 mark again, like he usually does, that'd be great. Murdoch, like I said, does he tag Butters? He's got that role. He's enjoying it. 90 and 100. He might just be our F6 at the end of the year because the way we're looking with trades and whatnot, it's not going well. But you can have worse. Averaging 82, it's only like 9 points off what Flanders did before he got injured. So, yep. Banfield, I think he's on the extended bench too, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to double check that. But hopefully he holds his spot. And he's just another warm body on the field and can score. Shown what he can do. Last week was pretty putrid, but the Hawks smashed him, and they are a good team. So, yeah, we'll see how he goes. Flanders, obviously a must trade. He's out. We can hold him and trade blokes that are going to be out, that we're going to lose cash, but now, which would be Lindsay, McCluggage, but they're not playing either. So, I think Flanders might go for us. We could hold him and just leave him there for this week instead of bringing in a forward because we were looking at Anastopoulos, but he's been dropped. So the only one is the 99k rookie pods or whatever from the Pies. It's going to debut on King's birthday. So, yeah, we'll have a look at that as well just in case. But yeah, Oscar Steen, but Flanders has to go, obviously, and Oscar Steen, obviously, out for the year as well. And then we've got D-Cam at flex. Hopefully, he can just get some posies around the ground. He's not going to beat Max in the ruck, we know that. But, that's basically where we're sitting at the moment with the team. So we're going to have to sit down and have a look at things because I'm not 100% sure how we're going to go. I know the blokes we want to bring in. I definitely want to bring in a Wilkie. I definitely want to bring in an LDU. But yeah, it's just about who we're bringing in and what we're sort of doing with that now, and who are the ones that are coming out. So do we just purge a Clug? Do we just say we can wait and see if news comes out? If he's going to miss like 3 or 4, I think he's just got to go, and we use one of the injury trades that we planned for to get rid of him. Then we'd hold Reshko till next week and see how he goes against the Lions because he does have a low break even, which means you could still get rid of an Anderson who will have his bye instead. Lindsay will go to a Wilkie most likely. So that way the backline's at least complete. And it'll just be Jordan Clark off next week for us in the bye. So our bye setup's pretty good. We've got Clark, Dacos, and Cameron. That'll be out next week. So 3. This week it's 3. And then if we do get rid of Clark, it'll actually bring us down to 3 for the week after as well. So maybe we can target a Heaney or someone like that. But, we will have to have a suss at what we want to do because we did have our plan pretty set. Now we're going to have to pivot a little bit. But anyway, that's a look at the team and sort of what we're thinking. But yeah, your VCs, you could go home tonight. Bont tomorrow now with the news of the teams and everything like that. I think he's a much more viable pick. Butters, if he gets the tag, but I still think he could go all right. And then you've got Gorn for us. There's obviously other options that are in your teams that aren't in ours because you've probably got better players than I do. But hopefully everyone that is on the extended bench plays and we can just get as many players in as we can. And keep making money and back up what we did this week with our first bye week. So anyway, guys, that'll do us for tonight. Enjoy the game tonight. Enjoy your week. Good luck with your trades. Good luck with your team. We'll be back on Monday with our round review. And so as always, give us a follow on X, ghost_bakes. And that's where we put all the links to our vids. And obviously, if you're watching this, if you haven't subscribed, like I said, we're trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. We're sitting at 60, 40 more. Let's just get there. Give us a bit of a boost this year. And that's our goal. So about halfway through the year, we want to get there by the end. So give us a sub if you haven't already. And good luck, guys. And I will see you guys Monday for our round review. Catch you guys.